Hello, everybody. 'Tis I, your greatest host of all, multi-voice reviewer, aka Michael Grimm. Now, there was something I was supposed to tell you, something very important. Oh yeah! Merry Christmas, everybody! Haha! Never thought of seeing me wearing one of these, huh? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Christmas. I thought I should do a good holiday special. Unlike that last Christmas special I did, where I talk about the A Christmas Story franchise. This time I'm going to do something very special. If you kept getting a hint of what I said. If you remember what I sung about. Do things to set things right for Christmas. And somebody I have to help is Batman. This is exactly my point. Because what I'm reviewing to you today, you see, I haven't reviewed a comic book in a long time. And I thought for Christmas is something very, very special for you folks. And this comic book I'm going to review to you today, that I have in my possession, is Batman Noel. Now, of course, I heard that there are other critics who reviewed it. One of my favorite critics of all, Link Cara, did a review of it. Yeah, that was his thumbnail to his show. But I think just for this holiday season, I think it's time that we should talk about this comic here. Now, this one is more like the from an old Christmas story that most of you probably heard of. This one is more like Christmas Carol. And if some of you are familiar with Christmas Carol, written by Charles Dickens, don't make fun of his last name, save that for my Beavis and Butthead review. Anyway, Charles Dickens was a story about a guy who's a grumpy old man because he's not into Christmas, and he's not a really good guy. Until his old friend named Marley decided to let him celebrate Christmas and be a good person for once by having 3 ghosts. Ghost of Christmas Past, Ghost of Christmas Present, and a Ghost of Christmas Future. And also let him see Bob Cratchit and his son Tiny Tim, who is ill. And of course, throughout the whole story, Scrooge, after seeing his past and present, and also his future, that's when he finally changed. But why does the Ghost of Christmas Future always look like the Grim Reaper? I mean, it's kind of creepy. But in this one, Batman himself had gone through the same situation as well. As we can see from here. Now, I gotta say, the artwork is really, really good. But of course, I can go through the entire story, but this will take long. But look at the neat artwork that they made in this city. And it was created, the artwork. Anyway, the artwork was really fantastic. As it starts out, there's a narrator who starts talking about what's going on in Gotham City. And here is this frightened man who goes by the name of Bob. And that's Bob right there. He's really scared because he was hired by the Joker himself to do like some kind of heist that the Joker wants him to do. And also gave him a package for him to deliver. But from out of nowhere is one man himself. He is vengeance. He is the night. He is Batman! Swooping down to get him. Now, throughout the entire story, he discovered that the package was full of money. Now, even though Batman intimidated him, he put a tracker on his scarf so he can keep track of him. You know Batman, he always be that sly. But as Batman goes into the toy shop where the Joker was at, he gets a letter. Right here. Saying, "Another Joker's night over your head. Shh. Too slow, old man." Yeah, I like to do the Heath Ledger Joker because he's a lot more memorable. Even though Mark Hamill did a really good job doing the voice of the Joker. And of course I do a good impression of him. But I prefer Heath Ledger myself. Anyway, at the same time, Batman did track Bob, and he also has a son, and his name is Tim. Now, he's not a sick boy. He's just a kid who is struggling because Bob is a poor man, and so is his son Tim. So they hardly ever have a good, decent Christmas dinner and all. It's pretty sad. But one thing I gotta say on some of the artwork, like look at this artwork. Looks a lot like a ventriloquist dummy. I'm not a dummy, he's a dummy. I can tell how stiff he is because I'm the one made of wood. Anyway, Tim was showing his father the tree that he made. Even though it's not a bad looking tree, all it needs is a little love. Do 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 do. Yeah, I enjoyed the Charlie Brown Christmas. Anyway, he talks about having a superhero symbol on the tree. And Superman would have been good, but he thinks about the superhero who saves people more than once in Gotham, Batman. But of course, Bob says no, Batman is too scary. Not telling his son what he was doing. Meanwhile, at the Batcave, as you can see in the Batcave right here, and there's old Alfred right here, giving Master Bruce right here. He's no Christian Bale, that's for sure. As it turns out, looks like that Bruce Wayne, known as Batman, he's suffering with a really bad case of the cold. I am I am the God, I need cough syrup. Anyway, Alfred thinks that his Master Bruce he's getting a little bit too harsh on Bob because it's not his fault, you know? Sorry. As Alfred is trying to set his costume back on his costume collection. Yeah, he has a lot of mannequins wearing his costumes that he collects. And he still has one with Jason Todd. And during his years, he used to remember the old past. Even his old friend, Jason Todd, a.k.a. the Robin. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ladies and gentlemen. Is Dick Grayson Robin? Well, for those of you who don't know about Jason Todd, let me clue you in. You see, Dick Grayson was getting older, so Batman decided to let him go. And as Dick Grayson had gone through college, and he finally finished college, he became a full-grown man, and decided to go on his own as Nightwing. In which I have to say, I like him better as Nightwing than Robin. I mean, I really do. I like him way better as Nightwing than Robin. Jason Todd, on the other hand, came from the comic book issue Death of the Family. In this one, Jason Todd was the new Robin that Batman had, but everybody didn't like him, because he was too much of a gung-ho and judgmental kind of kid. So, all of a sudden, the Joker, he ambushed him, beat him into a pulp with a crowbar, and set the timer on the bomb, and the house exploded. And then they did a contest for the readers. If they dialed the 1-800 number, he lived, but if they dialed the special number on the other side, he dies. And most of the fans dialed the other number, so they let Jason Todd die. And that's what happened to him. And some of the people who haven't read a comic book in a long time thinks that Robin is Dick Grayson, even though it's not. And sometimes Jason Todd's death does haunt Batman and the author. Heck, I even heard that the author, he went into a deli to get himself a tuna fish sandwich, and he had a Batman pen on his lapel. And all of a sudden, one of the guys looked at the pen, looked at him, and he said, "Who are you, sir?" And he said, "Well, I'm Danny O'Neill, the writer of Batman." And he yelled out, "Hey, this is the man who killed Robin!" And of course, I did heard in the other story where Jason Todd came to life and became Red Hood, but that's an entirely different story. Let's focus on this one right now. Anyway, as we were, I think I know who's going to be Marley in this one. You see, even though Batman has pneumonia, and they say that some people who has pneumonia can hallucinate, and he's hallucinating Jason Todd right here, as he hallucinating him. So he shook his head, opened his eyes, and discovered it's not him. Anyway, all of a sudden, the bat signal showed up, and it was good old Commissioner Gordon. And he was asking Commissioner Gordon what's going on, and he said he's got a letter, gave him some sort of information where the Joker is. So, they told him to the exact location where the Joker might be. And as it turns out, it is that perfect Catwoman. And in case you want to know what she looks like in this one, here she is. In which I have to say, that is one hot kitty. Anyway, Batman confronted Catwoman, and I think she's going to be like the Ghost of Christmas Past from now on, because what she's doing is trying to talk to Bruce Wayne, reminiscing about the past, all the years they've been through, and him and Robin always keep on trying to apprehend her and capture her, and she always slipped through his grip because he has feelings for her. Yeah, they both have like a love-hate relationship. I mean, they both love each other, but Catwoman hates Batman being on the side of justice, and Batman hates Catwoman being on the side of being a thief. But she only steals crooked people and make money off them. Anyway, they reminiscing about the past. And of course, a little flashback. As you can see, there's the Joker, there's Two-Face, and also Scarecrow, and a penguin. Dang, helicopters. Eh. You're early! You're supposed to pick me up after my review! So get going! Can you believe it? Anyway. Thank you! Anyway, back to the story here, ladies and gentlemen. Batman was chasing after Catwoman. And then all of a sudden, he grabbed on a gargoyle, and he accidentally fell and had flashbacks of his past. And everybody remembered his past. Him and his parents walking in a dark alley. Crook shoot them dead. They both went down. And he saw the whole thing right in front of his eyes. Because that's what makes him Batman. The death of his parents traumatized him. That's what made him what he is. And then, from out of nowhere, he's going to meet his Ghost of Christmas Present. And I bet you guys ain't going to know who the Ghost of Christmas Present is. The Man of Steel, Superman. That's right. I, Superman, the Man of Steel, become the Ghost of Christmas Present. Oh, and in case some of you folks are going to wondering, did they do a Christmas comic with Superman in it? Yeah, they did, back in the Golden Age. They did a Christmas comic book issue where Superman helped Santa Claus. You should look it up. It's called Superman's Christmas Adventure, or Superman Adventure Christmas. Something like that. Anyway, Superman, he's going to show him the present of today. And he looks right through him with his X-ray eyes. And he noticed that he's getting pretty sick, that he's having pneumonia. So now he decided to pick him up and show him through the city. And now they're going to show him Bob and Tim. As they look at Bob and Tim right here. And Bob draw a picture, thinking of his dad as Batman. That is sweet. But of course, Batman, being a Scrooge he is, he thinks that Bob Cratchit should be apprehended and thrown in prison for being a crook. And for his son, he will teach him not to do crime. But he'll might vow vengeance. So what, does he want another villain in his list? In his rogue gallery? Has he have enough villain in his rogue gallery? Anyway, Superman, showing him some of the good, decent people here. Things that they done in Gotham, celebrating Christmas and all. And, of course, Batman being all, bah, humbug. And he even showed him Commissioner Gordon and his wife and one of his best officers. Talking about, could Batman ever have a break? I mean, even in Christmas? And, of course, Commissioner Gordon, as a good friend, he always showed a lot of respect to Gordon. That's why he always shows the bat signal, because he hates crime and corruption just like Batman. Anyway, as they were done with their tour, Superman says farewell and told Batman that he needs to get some sleep. So he landed him next to that Batmobile right here. Pretty snazzy, but it ain't no Tim Burton Batmobile that I would love to have. And then from out of nowhere, out comes, as he turns on his Batmobile, boom! Kaboom! His Batmobile exploded. And he was out. And out comes a shadowy figure. And now the shadowy figure is dragging him. And as it turns out, he meets his ghost of Christmas future. The Clown Prince of Crime himself, the Joker. And as you can see, the Joker dug a grave for Batman, and he's tossing his body into the grave. And as you can look from the artwork of him, that's why I choose the Heath Ledger, because from the artwork, he looks a lot like the Heath Ledger style of the Joker. Don't you think? I like it. Anyway, he tossed Batman into the grave and buried him alive. And of course, as he is buried alive, he starts imagining the future, what the world would be like without Batman. And as he sees crime raid going everywhere, and crooks who uses the Batman's image, but they kill, even though Batman know if you kill someone, you never be better than the crooks. That's why Batman never kills. Yeah, I know that he did kill the first time he appeared, but thanks to the comics code, they decided for superheroes never kill anybody. But sometimes they go a little bit too far, so that's why they remove the comics code. But they still keep that law. If you want to be a superhero, don't kill bad people. If you do, you will never be better than, you're going to stoop to their level. Anyway, all the raids throws out, and here's a gang of Jokers battling against a gang of Batmans, and it's going to continue on forever. And of course, it shows here Commissioner Gordon being arrested for for keeping the Batman. And of course, knowing who Batman is, they put Bruce Wayne's house on auction, selling out everything that he had. If Bruce Wayne is dead, and Alfred will be out of a job. So, Batman, being the strong man he is, ain't going to take this lying down. So he punched his way out of the grave. So now he's going to do a good thing. As Bob and Tim about ready to go to sleep, Tim has a knock on the door. And it's the Joker asking to come in. Anyway, as he was about ready to do something evil, something really bad to Tim and Bob, Bob decided to hit the Joker with his bat. But the Joker knocks him out with a wrench, and he points a gun at him. See right there? And he was about ready to kill Bob until Batman shows up to stop him. And of course, they both slug it out, like always, until Bob grabbed the gun and about ready to kill the Joker. And the Joker is like, "Come on, let's see if you got the guts to kill me." And Batman says this, "Show him what a hero is. Don't kill him. Look at your son." And Bob saw his son Tim, shocked in horror. If he killed the Joker, he wouldn't be an honest and decent hero that his son sees him as. So he put the gun down, and the Joker says, "Boring. Neither of you know how to have a good time." Anyway, as you can see, the Joker gets arrested, put him in the psychiatric ward, and Bob thanked Batman for saving his life. And for now, Alfred is giving Batman some medication for that pneumonia he had, and he's taking some rest. Of course, I'm not so sure about him sleeping in the Batcave. I mean, I hear that living in Batcaves are cold and damp, so I don't think a healthy man like him will be sleeping overnight at the Batcave. He should be in his own house. And as Tim and Bob decided to clean up the house, turns out they got a Christmas tree. Knock on the door, and all the rent they had was paid, so they're never going to get broke. And of course, the cops wishing Commissioner Gordon a Merry Christmas. And of course, Tim thinking himself as a hero by having a cape on his back. Kids' dreams, right? And as Bob and Tim hugging each other and enjoying that delicious turkey sitting on top of their radiator and sitting next to their Christmas tree, it's like Tim's way of saying, "God bless us, everyone." The end. Now, I have to say, this comic is not bad. I mean, some of the artwork is a little creepy, but all in all, it is an awesome comic. I mean, if any of you ever go to your comic book stores or any stores that sells comic, try to ask them to get this for you. You'll enjoy it. It is really fun. I mean, heck, I enjoy it a lot. I love this comic. Anyway, this here is my Christmas special, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all enjoy it. And if you want to talk about it, leave a comment down below, hit like, and subscribe. As Batman, I have to end it with this. Merry Christmas, everyone. And of course, quoting out of Batman Return at the end of the movie, "Peace on earth, goodwill towards men and women. Because I'm Batman." Bye-bye.